So welcome to the section. So in this section, in previous section we have discussed what is of stiffness element and what are the shape functions, how they are going to impact in an bar or beam elements or 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension we have discussed. So now today we will discuss how the stiffness matrix is going to derive for an bar element by using direct method. We will discuss. We are going to have two methods. First one is direct method and second one is in stepped bar method. First we will see the direct method. Another one. So for this condition, what I am going to do, I am going to consider an bar element when the force F1 and force F2 are going to act on the section, and I am going to consider the length of the section as L and area of section and Young's modulus or modulus of velocity E. So when the force F1 and F2 are going to act, definitely when the force F1 is acting, definitely there is some displacement of U1 is going to develop at the force F1, and similarly at this end the displacement of U2 it is going to develop. So now what I am going to do, I am going to divide the forces into two parts. So first bar I am going to take one end as fixed and other end as force condition, and second condition I am going to take other end is fixed and second end is going to have some force. So first we will go with the one end is fixed. If the force F2 section, nothing but in this part it is going to fix and force F1 it is going to act up here, then with the help of this force F1 it is acting in this direction. So here the value of ut is going to become 0 because there will be no displacement is going to occur at this section because it is a fixed condition. Here the value of displacement u1 cannot be equals to 0. So due to this force condition, some displacement it is going to occur here. Similarly, next figure is, so at this condition nothing but here are the force F1 I am going to make fixity, and here I am going to apply the force F2. Then here the value of u1 will becomes 0, and here the value of u2 does not becomes to 0 because there will be some displacement it is going to develop. So by combining these two conditions B and C, we will get the required stiffness of our element. So here A is nothing but cross section area, L is nothing but length of our span, length of our bar element, E is nothing but Young's modulus or modulus of elasticity. U1 and U2 are the displacements at the nodal points. So if you are going to consider this as first node and this as second node, at the nodal points the displacement U1 and U2. So these are the components of our section. So next what we will do, so we know that expression, the force displacement equation, we know that we have found it in the previous expression we have discussed. Force F is equal to K into U, where U can be replaced with delta. In previous definition it has denoted with delta. So here the delta is replaced with U. U is nothing but displacement. So this is the expression we have found it in yesterday class. So with the help of this expression for the figure B and C, we will find out the equation. So now first we will go with the first condition. For B condition, if this force is going to pick up, the nothing but this equation is going to come up. Here the force is acting F1. F1 is equal to, so with the help of this we are going to get some stiffness K it is going to develop in this condition, and here we are going to have the two displacement conditions we are going to have, nothing but K of, from first node we are going to pick up now, from this end it is going to act up, nothing but u1 minus u2 it is going to come up, right. So next, so this is from figure B it is going to come up. Similarly next we will find out from the figure C. This is a figure C. Here the force is acting at the C point, then F2 is equal to K of, at this end wherever the force is acting, from that end the value of U we have to take, U2 minus U1. So from the end, from the B from the figure B, the force F1 has came as F1 is equal to K of U1 minus U2, and from the C F2 is equal to K of U2 minus U1. So now what we are going to do, So these equations are known as finite element equations, and these equations are known as finite element equations. Now what we are going to do, to frame the matrix, what we are going to do, we are going to convert this into matrix form by writing these two conditions into matrix form. Then it can be written as F1 F2 is equal to, so here k minus k nothing but if we take the components u1 u2, for u1 k value is 1, for u2 the k value is minus k. Similarly the u2 value is u1 value will become minus k, u1 value here is minus it is going to minus k, u2 it will become k, right. So where this is in the form of F is equal to k into u, force is equal to stiffness into displacement, what you have seen in the previous. So from this what you have to find out, the stiffness k we have to find out, where k is equal to, if I am going to make k as common, this equation can be written as 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. So from previous expression the value of k can be written as AE by L of 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. So this is the stiffness of our section. This is a stiffness matrix for an bar element using direct method, and this is the stiffness value. Similarly next we will find out for the next section with an stepped bar element. So this is for direct method. Next we will go with the stepped bar method. So next we will find out for the stepped bar method. So same stiffness we are going to find out for the stepped bar method. So for stepped bar method the figure is like this. So one end is fixed and two bars are we are going to have. Here the load P it is going to act. So this is of L1 and this is of L2, it is going to pick up. Definitely with respect to these force, here we are at the node condition, here displacement of U1 is going to develop, and here the displacement of U2 is going to develop, and here the displacement of U3 it is going to develop. So this is of A into A1 E1, area of the first section, this is of A to E2. So simply if you are going to make it an Springs condition, so the figure will be like this. So this is a first node condition. So with respect to the first, second and third. So with respect to first one, with respect to this load, U1 comma F1 force are going to develop, and here U2 F2 are going to develop, and here U3 F3 are going to develop, and here the stiffness K1 and K2 are going to develop, because here we are going to have the two bar elements we are going to have, then the stiffness, two stiffness are going to come up. If it is singular, only singular section we are going to come up. So this is of A figure. So now what we have to do, we have to divide the two bar sections into two parts, sorry, the whole part into two bar. So first we will go with the first part, L1 part. So if I am going to divide the first part, so here the force F2 it is going to act, here the force F2 it is going to act, and here the force F1 it is going to act. So it is of L1, stiffness K1, A1, E1 it is going to have. Similarly next we are going to have the second element. Here the force F2, this element, second element, this is the first and this is the second element, this is the first element and this is the second element. If you go the second element, here the force F3 is going to act up, this is of K2 and this is of L2 we are going to come up. So here U1 displacement, U2 displacement, and here U2, U3 we are going to pick up. Similarly now we have to find out the, for element 1 the force F1, F2 we have to find out, and similar for element 2 the force F2 and F3 we have to find out. Previously how we have found out, with the help of the same same we have to find. So first we will find out for the element 1. For this element first we will find out F1. F1 is equal to K1 of So from here we are going to pick up, here the stiffness is K1, K1 of U1 minus U2, from where we are going to start up, that value minus next value we have to pick up, U1 minus U2. Similarly, F2 is equal to K1 of U2 minus U1, U2 minus U1. So similarly, next this is for the first element we have found it. Similarly, next we will find out for the second element. In second element, F2, F3 we are going to have. So if you go with the F2, F2 is equal to K2 of U2 minus displacement 2 minus displacement 3, and similarly F3 is equal to K2 of U3 minus U2 we are going to pick up. So these are the forces finite element equations we have came from the element 1 and 2. So now what we have to do, we have to combine the element 1 equations and element 2 equations. So first we will combine the element 1 equations. If you are going to combine the element equation writing in the form of matrix, it can become as F1 F2 is equal to, so the displacements are U1 U2. So for the first element, K1 of U1, U1 value is K1 itself and U2 value is minus K1, and for the second, here the value of U1 is minus K1 plus K1. This is make it as equation 1. Similarly, next we will find out for the second element, second equation. So this equation. So by writing these two conditions in matrix form, it can be written as F2 F3 is equal to, the displacements are U2 U3. So if you see here, the U2 values are K2 and U3 value is minus K2, and similarly for this U2 is minus K2 and K2. Make it as equation number 2. So now what we have to do, the equation 1 and 2 we have to combine. By combining these three conditions, we will get the final stiffness matrix for our element. So for this what you have to do, adding 1 plus 2 equations we have to do. So for this, so if you are going to add equation 1 and 2, nothing but by adding 1 plus 2 we get, so by adding 1 plus 2 we will get F1 F2 F3 is equal to K1 minus K1, first matrix we will write minus K1 plus K1, it is there. Similarly, next second matrix is of plus K2 minus K2 minus K2 K2 we are going to have. Here these equations will become 0 of U1 U2 U3 we are going to pick up. So here we have to see the condition as, if you see from the figure, whatever the figure we have seen in previous, from this figure if you see the force F3, nothing but with respect to the, here the force F3, definitely the force F3 can be written as the value of F, and here the force F2 will becomes to 0, and here the displacement U1 will becomes to 0. So nothing but the value of U1 will become 0 here, because due to the fixity condition it won't deforms to any in any direction. So here we are going to have the fixed condition, then the displacement U1 will not, U1 will become 0 here, because no movement will be occurring here, and here the displacement U2 and U3 is going to occur, because it is going to deflect some part, it is going to move some part. And similarly with respect to this force and this force, here some force it is going to develop, that force cannot be defined, that is why here the force F2 will be equals to 0. So here some nullified force will be there, that force we are going to equals to 0, and here the force F3 will be equals to force F. Nothing but from the figure it is clear that F2 is equal to 0, F3 is equal to F, and U1 displacement is equal to 0. From the figure it is clear. So by substituting this equation we will get the required matrix for our stepped bar element. So, by substituting these values in this equation, we will get f1, f2 is 0, f3 is f is equal to k1 minus k1 0 minus k1, k1 plus k2 minus k2 0 minus k2 k2 of the value of u1 is 0, u2, u3 we are going to write. If the value of u1 is 0, then the matrix of this and this condition will become 0 itself. By substituting these values, we will get this matrix will become 0 itself, and the value of fn also it is going to become 0. So, by neglecting this condition, the final matrix will come as 0 f is equal to k1 plus k2 minus k2 minus k2 k2 of u2 u3. So, finally, the matrix has came as like this. So, here by substituting the value of f, so here from the figure the value of f can be written as the value of p, the load p. O p is equal to k1 plus k2 minus k2 minus k2 plus of k2 of u2 u3. So, this is the stiffness matrix for an stepped bar method, element stiffness matrix for an bar element by using stepped bar method. So, previously by the direct method we have found it, now it is by the stepped bar method. So, based on this we will do some example problem. So, previously we have seen the derivation, now we will do one example problem on stepped bar method. So, here the condition question is given, calculate the nodal displacements and nodal forces for the bar element. So, nodal displacements we have to find out, forces and nodal forces f1 and f2 we have to find out as shown for the bar element. So, this is an bar element. So, directly he has given the value of k, the stiffness k1 and k2 value has given, directly we can substitute and we can find out. If the value they have not given the value of k, then they will give the value of the area of our section it will come, k is equal to ae by l. So, they will give the Young's smallest value and the length they will give for the section and area we have to find out. By substituting this we will get the required k value if they are not going to give up. So, this is the given data. So, first we will go with the given data. So, the value of k1 they have given, that is as 12 kilonewton per, this is of meters, 12 kilonewton per meter, and the value of k2 has given as 8 kilonewton per meter they have given. So, first we will discretize the structure into two parts. So, first figure we will discretize. So, this is a first section, the force f1 we are going to get, and here the force f2 we will get, u1 u2 we will get. So, from this figure the force fn can be written as k1 of u1 minus u2, it can be written as k1 u1 minus k2 u2. Similarly, f2 can be written as k1 of u2 minus u1, that is equal to k1 u2 minus k1 u1. So, by combining this matrix, the equation can be written as f1 f2 is equal to k1 minus k1 minus k1 k1 of u1 minus u2. Similarly, next element is the second element is here, this is of f2 and this is of f3. So, from this figure the matrix can be written as, so this we have done in the derivation itself, f2 f3 is equal to k2 minus k2 minus k2 of u2 u3 we are going to get. So, by combining this 1 and 2, so this we have done in the derivation itself. So, directly substitute the formula, then the equation can be written as f1 f2 f3 is equal to k1 minus k1 0 minus k1 k1 plus k2 minus k2 0 minus k2 k2 of u1 u2 u3. So, this is the matrix. So, from this matrix we have to find out the values of nodal displacement and nodal forces we have to find out. So first, what are the given data and what we know from the figure, first we will see. So from the figure, if you see from this figure, so from this figure the force is acting here, and here the force F2 it is going to develop, and here the force F1 it is going to develop. So here the force F2 will be 0 itself, and here the F1 U1 will be 0 from the derivation. So now from the figure we will discuss what are the components we have to find out and what are the components we know, we will see now. So here the load he has given us 6 kilonewton he has given. So here the force F1 will get, and F2 and F3 will get, U1, U2, U3 will get. So first we will go with the node 1. At the node 1 the force F1 we don't know, definitely some force F1 will get, this force we don't know. So this force we have to find out, and the value of displacement U1 will become 0 because of fixity, the U1 value will become 0. And similarly we will go with the second node. So here the value of F2 will become 0 because of these two conditions. Here F2, that there will be no force at the this point, F2 will be 0, but there will be some displacement it is going to develop, U2 will not equals to 0. So U2 value we have to find out, some displacement is going to. Similarly F3 we know, that is of 6 kilonewtons he has given in the formula itself. We don't know the U3 value, U3 we have to find. So from the figure it is clear that the value of F1, U2 and U3 we have to find out, these three values we have to find out. So from the expression, so this is the expression we have got now. So from this expression, by substituting these values, and K1, K2 also we know, K1, K2, K1 is 12 and K2 is 8. Substituting these values in this equation, then we will get the equation as, so the value of F1 itself, F2 will be 0, F3 is 6 kilonewton, of K1 value is 12 minus 12, 0 minus 12. So here 12 plus 8 minus 8 minus 8, 8 of U1 value is 0, U2, U3 we are going to get. So now what we have to do, we have to frame the equation. F1 is equal to this equation, 0 is equal to this equation, is equal to this equation. By framing this equation, three equations, we will get the required equations. So first we will go with the F1. Therefore F1 is equal to, so here F1 is equal to 12 into 0, it will become 0, minus 12 U2 plus 0 into U3. So finally F1 is equal to, so if you see here, F1 is equal to this into this, row into column, 12 into 0, 0 itself, minus 12 U2 plus 0 and anything will be 0 itself. Therefore F1 is equal to minus 12 U2 it has given. Make it as equation number 3. Similarly from the next condition, 0 is equal to minus 12 into 0, it is 0 itself, 20 into U2 minus 8 into U3. This is the fourth equation. And next from this, 6 is equal to 0 into anything 0 minus 8 U2 minus 8 U3. This is our fifth equation. So now what we have to do, the value of U2, U3 we have to find out, and F1 value we have to find out. So for this condition what we will do, to find out any one condition, if you see, first what we will do, by adding 3 plus 4 equation. So what I am going to do, I am going to add the value of 3 plus 4. From this equation we will get the value of any value we will get, from the value of 4 plus 5, the value of, nothing but if you are going to add these two equations, 4 plus 5, this is for the fourth equation and 5 equation, nothing but 0, 6, 0 is equal to 20 U2 minus U23 minus 8 U2. So 0, here 6, 4 plus 5 now. So if I am going to make plus here 8 U3, 8 u3 8 u3 will get cancelled. From this 6 is equal to 12 u2 we will get. From this u2 is equal to 0.5. So from the 4 plus 5 we have found out u2 as 0.5. So next what we will do, we will substitute the value of u2 in any these two equation or any two equation or in this equation. We will get the values of f1 and f2. So from the figure it is, next we will find out the value of u3. So substitute in any equation either in 4 or 5 we will get the value of u3. So now what I will do, substituting u2 in equation 4. So equation 4 is this one, 20 u2 is equal to minus u23. Therefore 20 u2 is equal to 8 u3. So we know the value of u2, that is 0.5. 20 into 0.5 is equal to 8 u3. So 0.5 in automatic will become 10. Then the value of u3, by calculating the value, we will get the value of u3 as 1.25. So by substituting the value of first equation f1 is equal to 12 u2, by substituting the value of u2 here, we will get the required value of u1. So then substituting u2 in equation 3, f1 is equal to minus 12 u2, u2 value is 0.5, f1 is equal to minus 12 into 0.5, so it will become minus 6 kilonewtons. So this is, so like this we have to find out the nodal displacement. Nodal displacements are nothing but u2 and u3, the displacement u2 and u3 we have to find out, and the nodal forces f1 we have to find out. So like this the problems we have to